We begin this hour with some breaking news.
The White House confirming the U.S. military took down a second high-altitude object over Alaska. And it comes just days, as you know, after the U.S. shot down that Chinese spy balloon off the South Carolina coast.
Let's get right to NBC News Homeland Security reporter Julia Ainsley. So, Julia, we just heard from National Security spokesperson John Kirby. What did he have to say?
Well, it was interesting. He did confirm this after R. Kelly O'Donnell asked him about it. He said that there was an object, he doesn't yet want to call it a balloon, that was shot down over Alaska, and he did not want to attribute its ownership. In other words, not necessarily saying, yes, this is another Chinese spy balloon, even though that's obviously the question on everyone's mind. Here's what he had to say.
So I can confirm that the Department of Defense was tracking a high-altitude object over Alaska airspace in the last 24 hours. President Biden ordered the military to down the object, and they did, and it came inside our territorial waters. Those waters right now are frozen, but inside territorial airspace and over territorial waters. Fighter aircraft assigned to U.S. Northern Command took down the object within the last hour.
So that was Kirby's response to Kelly O'Donnell's question. Of course, that original reporting came here from NBC. Courtney Kuby, our Pentagon correspondent, was the first to find out just last week about the Chinese balloon that was eventually shot down over South Carolina. She also found out about this one. I point that out not just to toot the horns of my own colleagues here, but to show that the Pentagon is not freely giving this information. It might seem that way, that we're finding out about all of these in real time. That's only because the media is finding out about it. And in fact, that could be a source of frustration for some members of Congress who want the Pentagon to do more to tell them and the public more upfront about these threats that apparently have persisted long before last week.
All right, Julia, stand by for us. I want to bring in now NBC News White House correspondent Monica Alba. Monica, the Chinese were not happy when we shot down this first spy balloon, and now this happens. How is this escalating the situations with that other superpower?
Yeah, and just to echo what Julie was just saying there, this is remarkable. The fact that this came up mid-White House briefing that was on a completely different topic. They were announcing that the president is going to be traveling to Poland later this month. And then somebody said there's a rumor that there was another high-flying object. Can you tell us about it? And the fact that the national security spokesman comes out and talks about this entire military operation that has just unfolded in the last 90 minutes or so is something that really we don't see happen very often here. And of course, it is extra notable because of what we just saw take place in the last week or so with that Chinese surveillance balloon that really traveled across the United States over many sensitive military sites, even though military officials say that they were able to limit some of the potential surveillance capabilities of that balloon before the president authorized the Pentagon to shoot it down. So we saw that take place over a longer period of time before it was taken out over water, parts of which are now being recovered. With this smaller high-flying object, which, again, we don't know who owns it. We don't know much more about it. We're told it's the size of a small car. The president learned of it last night. He decided this morning it should be shot down, and then we saw that happen fairly quickly. So this will raise a lot more questions about, again, who was trying to do this, what kind of a thing. And what was notable here, Tom, too, is that the White House says they saw it did pose a reasonable threat to civilian flight, and that is why they felt they needed to get it out of the air and over some frozen waters in Alaska, where they do hope to recover pieces of it to learn more.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.